All right, right now, vehicles for the Army's 250th anniversary celebration are arriving in Washington, D.C. We've got a huge military parade that will be taking place there on Saturday. Army officials estimate there will be about 200,000 people attending this event. The parade, however, a major test for the city's streets. Are they equipped enough to handle the weight of some of the machinery and the tanks? The Army reinforcing the roads right now along the route, laying down steel plates. And as the preparations continue, we've got to look at some of the machinery that will be hitting the roads.
These Strikers have their 8 wheels, very big wheels, so great off-road capability, great speed, can go up to like 45, 50 miles per hour. They do have a governor on them, because they can go a little bit faster than that, but we don't want them going that fast. And
not down the streets of D.C. We don't want them going that fast.
No, down the streets of D.C., all these vehicles will be going about 3 miles per hour. And they're not all coming at the same time. They'll be driving in a staggered formation, so column of 2, staggered. They're going to be Abrams are going to be first, followed by some Bradleys, then the Paladin, and these will be in a later formation. So the weight distribution will be sufficient to really mitigate any issues. But no, these are fantastic machines, but really what makes them great is the soldiers inside of them. And without the soldiers, these machines will be basically nothing.
So it's a big parade happening Saturday. South Carolina Representative and House Judiciary Committee member Russell Fry is with us to talk more about it. So they're getting the streets ready. I mean, these tanks are heavy, so it's going to be fun to watch. There are thousands of people who will be there. What do you think of this parade? It's been since 1991 we've seen anything like this.
Well, I think it's a tremendous celebration. I mean, the Army, they were the first ones, 250 years. What a historic milestone. And to celebrate, the most advanced, robust, and prepared military in the world, I think it's a tremendous opportunity. People are excited. We've got constituents from South Carolina that made their trip all the way up here just to be a part of it. So it's an exciting time in our nation's capital.
Is it more than that, Representative? I mean, what message does it send about America's military might and who the message or symbolism may be for?
Well, I think it is a celebration of the military. I think it's really important, the history, the veterans who have served this country, people who have lost their lives in service of freedom. It is to honor them. But also importantly, it's to talk about or to highlight the strength of our military. I mean, we have worked tirelessly for decades to make sure that we could defend freedom at home and make sure that we preserve this incredible experiment called our republic. So I think it's just a tremendous time, and people are really excited about it. I think the excitement, the enthusiasm is there, and so this is a good momentous occasion to celebrate the Army's 250th anniversary.
And thank those service members. What are you, Congressman, most looking forward to seeing?
Well, I like the patriotism, right? I like that, this is an opportunity where the country can rally around something that we all appreciate and agree on, which is our military, those who have paved the way with their own lives, those who have put it all on the line in service of the country. I really like that rally around the flagpole effect. And I think it's important to have that. This is a unifying force in our country. People appreciate most people appreciate what the military does. And so to honor that with a parade seems very fitting on their 250th anniversary.
The price tag, I've heard a number of estimates, somewhere between $30 million up to $45 million. Do you have any concerns about cost? And what do you say to critics who say it's just too much to spend right now as we're looking to cut back on wasteful spending in Washington?
Well, I think it's important to highlight things and milestones in the country, first of all. And second of all, I think, recruitment numbers are incredibly up. In fact, I think they're hitting their year mark 4 months early. And so obviously with this administration, you've seen a tremendous effort to rehabilitate our military, and it seems to be working. And so if we can highlight that and inspire young people to serve their country, I think that's absolutely critical.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.